So, this is the leg. Patient's head is to my left, patient's feet are to my right. The two spots I marked is where our short sheaths would go into the leg veins as their access site. And then before I remove the sheaths, what I do is essentially use the stopcock and figure eight suture as a way to hold pressure for a prolonged period of time. So it goes adjacent to the access sites. It goes through the skin, this stitch, right next to the vein on one side, and then kind of same idea here again, right next to the vein on the other side. The suture doesn't go terribly deep, just big enough of a bite to capture enough tissue next to the insertion sites for the sheaths. Sharps out of the way. Right. So, stopcock essentially just serves as the tool that can hold down the whole concoction. So we have this loop here. The two loose ends will go through the stopcock, out the other side. Okay, so now I'm set up. I'll close this so this doesn't slide off. So in the procedure at this point in time, I would just fold up two 4x4s into a nice little neat square. And I would place that here. I still have the two sheaths in here, so sheath 1, sheath 2. And then essentially I would remove the sheaths while holding pressure with my other hand, and then I tighten this down. So one loop goes around the veins like this, and then the other loop just kind of crosses over. And then this is essentially a counter pressure maneuver. The stopcock holds things in place while I can really pull on the strings to kind of pull the tissue against the stopcock. And then all I need to do is turn this so the suture is locked. And then this is how it stays. I'll put a tegaderm around it just to have it cleanly dressed. But let's say a patient, comes up to the floor and they cough and it's a little oozy. Just to replace the dressing, I would turn the stopcock to open so that this can slide. I turn it again. I loosen the whole suture thing up. I throw the old one out. Come up with a set of new ones. And essentially do the same thing again to kind of say, oh, okay, I've looked at the incision side. Was there anything going on oozing wise? And then I tighten it back down. It has the advantage of being able to just loosen and kind of peek at it. And that's kind of the same thing that can be done at the time of removal, where it's like, oh, you don't have to cut things off quite yet. You can just loosen it, peek, okay, all is good. Then usually what I would do is I snip this short so that this whole thing, those whole ends don't have to go through the skin. And then when you remove the whole thing, so let's say we do this, time for the whole thing to come off. We loosened this, yes, looks clean, so we can remove it. I would cut the long ends off, remove the stopcock, remove the 4x4, pull on one end, out.
And then dress and up. Do you still need to apply pressure?
Nope.
No. So it's just a clean tegaderm over the top?
Yep.